Renewed protests in central Baghdad. Walter October 5, 2019. 6 minutes ago wrote, agency's photo, al-Masri al-Yawm. Demonstrations resumed in the center of the Iraqi capital Baghdad on Saturday afternoon. Iraqi Parliament Speaker Mohammed al-Habassi held a meeting on Saturday with representatives of the demonstrators at the House of Representatives in Baghdad, and failed to persuade the representatives of the protesters to end the protests that entered the fifth day, according to the Newseye. Mass protests broke out on Tuesday in various Iraqi provinces and cities, killing and injuring hundreds, demanding reform and the exit of Iran and its militias from Iraq, regime change and the formation of a national government to save the legislative elections. The President of the Republic Bahram Salih received in Baghdad on Saturday the 5th of October 2019 Prime Minister Adil Abdul Mahdi. Posted by Walter October 5, 2019. During the meeting, it was stressed to meet the legitimate demands of the demonstrators and achieve the aspirations of Iraq's youth to ensure them a free and dignified life, emphasizing the accountability of those involved in the use of violence, maintaining the security and safety of demonstrators and security forces, and resolutely confronting criminals who fired live bullets at demonstrators and security forces. They also discussed ways to remedy the recent events to ensure the public interest in the stability of the country. Demonstrations returned for the fifth consecutive day in the capital Baghdad. Posted by Walter October 5, 2019. The 5th of October 2019 7 hours, 49 minutes, and 45 seconds. Demonstrators returned for the fifth day in a row to continue their protests in the center of Baghdad. The correspondent of Twilight News, that the mass demonstration started near the Nerva sentence in central Baghdad was met with heavy gunfire. He pointed to the fall of a demonstrator near the Nerva sentence, at a time when hundreds of protesters gathered near the Loyalist Palm east of the capital ready to continue demonstrations. A source ruled out holding a session of parliament today. Posted by Walter October 5, 2019. Policy the 5th of October 2019 1416 178. Baghdad today. Baghdad. A parliamentary source ruled out on Saturday, the House of Representatives held its meeting this day, which was scheduled to be devoted to discuss the issue of demonstrations. The source said in an interview for Baghdad Today, the meeting will not be held because of the absence of most deputies and boycott many of the political blocs of the meeting. He added that the presidency of the council is still holding a meeting with the delegation representing the demonstrations in an attempt to reach the most prominent demands of the demonstrators. The Baghdad correspondent today has confirmed that a delegation included clerics and tribal elders met with Speaker of the House of Representatives Mohammed al-Habassi in the Parliament building ahead of the upcoming session of the council this day. The correspondent said that the delegation, which included about 50 people, began to review the demands of the demonstrators on the presidency of the House of Representatives in preparation for presentation by the president to the deputies in today's meeting. Saw chaos. Deputy reveals details of the meeting with representatives of Habassi demonstrators. Posted by Walter October 5, 2019. Politics. Ahmed al-Jubari. Mohammed al-Bussi. Demonstrations in Iraq. House of Representatives. The 5th of October 2019 5 hours, 42 minutes, and 4 seconds. AA+, a member of the Council of Representatives, Ahmed al-Jubari, on Saturday, the details of the meeting of the Speaker of the Iraqi Council of Representatives Mohammed al-Habassi with representatives of the demonstrators. Al-Habassi, along with 5 deputies, met more than 100 young people in Hall 1 of the House of Representatives, Jubari said in a tweet on Twitter. They were asked to end the demonstrations, they refused and they asked him to resign. There was chaos in the hall and they got out of the council. And escalated on Friday, clashes between Iraqi demonstrators who are demanding to bring down the government and security forces, which fired at the protesters. The top Shiite cleric in Iraq, Ali al-Sistani, on Friday, criticized the Iraqi government and urged both political leaders and demonstrators to retreat before it is too late. The leader of the Sadrist movement, Muqtada al-Sadr, on Friday, the Iraqi government to resign and work for early elections under the auspices of the United Nations. Sadr said in a handwritten statement, inject the blood of the Iraqi Sharif resignation of the government, and let's start early elections under the supervision of the United Nations. Sadr added that the disregard for Iraqi blood cannot be tolerated.